Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of Intuitive Angling, and much appreciated you guys checking today's video out and spending some of your day with me. And we are going to have sort of a fun little video today. We're going to be rating the best tow vehicles for a bass boat, because I did a video yesterday, you guys may have seen it, on my old truck here that's got 464,000 miles on it. But guys, I've had a lot of tow vehicles over the past, ever since I've been driving since I was 16 years old, a bunch of them, about every model that you have. And what I'm going to do in today's video is I'm going to go over like all the vehicles I've had, the different brands of tow vehicles, and sort of give you an honest opinion, rate them, let you guys know I don't have any type of a sponsorship with automotive companies, but I do have a lot of experience towing a bass boat. I've towed a bass boat well over 1 million miles with different vehicles, so I can give you a pretty honest assessment as far as every aspect of towing, you know, city, highway, pulling, hills, getting out of boat ramps, just maneuverability, everything like that, turning radius, the whole 9 yards. So we're going to get into that in today's episode. Also guys, just a quick invitation. I'd just like to invite everybody, if you like the channel here, you like the content, to please consider hitting that subscribe button. Free and easy to do so. You guys may have heard me talking about, we've only got like 30% of the people that watch Intuitive Angling that are actually subscribed to the channel. And by subscribing, it really helps push the channel out on the algorithm and help the channel grow, so that's a good way to help out. And as usual guys, thank you everybody that has taken time to use all my links I put in every video description, things that you can do to support Intuitive Angling. Big thank you from me and my family, we really appreciate that. Okay, let's start from the beginning. I'm going to start, you know, from the first vehicles I've had to tow with up to the one I'm in right now, which is a bunch of them. We're going to go through the whole thing. My first tow vehicle I had was a 1971 Datsun pickup, a 4-cylinder, 5-speed manual transmission. That thing was terrible to tow with. It was so small, it had such a tiny motor in it. I had, back then, my bass boat, I had a 16-foot flat bottom with a 9-horse on it. And if I had any type of a hill, guys, I mean, it didn't even have to be a steep hill, just any type of a grade, that truck would slow down to like 30 miles an hour. It was, but I was proud to have it. I mean, I was 16 years old, I paid for it with my own money, $600. But I could tell right now it wasn't going to last very good. So the next vehicle I had is I found a used Ford Bronco, a 1969 Bronco. It had an 8-cylinder motor in it, and it was a considerable upgrade in power. It's like it wasn't fancy or anything. I bought the thing, it was a 69 model, and I believe I bought it like in 1982 or something like that. It again sucked as a tow vehicle because it had a super short wheelbase. I mean a super short wheelbase, and it's like it was hard to keep the thing on the road. It's like it was like that short wheelbase towing a bass boat. And at that time I had a 15-foot Challenger bass boat with a 50-horse on it, and it still was all over the place, so that was not any good. My next vehicle I had, I was in college, I was working at a car dealership after school, like 35 hours a week, and I bought a new Nissan Pathfinder, a 4-cylinder Pathfinder, which was sort of like it's like a little SUV type of a thing, but with the 4-cylinder in it. Had a manual speed transmission on it, and at that time I had gotten my first Ranger. It was a 340 Ranger, so with 150 horsepower, so it was a little bit bigger boat, and it again didn't do that great of a job. Short wheelbase, didn't have a lot of power, was not the ultimate tow vehicle. And actually I had that Pathfinder for quite a few years. I had it for probably 10 years total, because I got two different ones. I got a manual speed, and then I got an automatic transmission because I worked at that car dealership, so I got a pretty good, you know, discount on it. But I had that Pathfinder, you know, up into the early 90s, and it was not that great. It was okay, but it was not that great, probably not that safe because of, you know, the shorter wheelbase. Okay, now the first real vehicle I got to tow a bass boat is I was sponsored by Lucky Strike back in the early 90s up until about 2000s. And guys, from about 1992 to early 2000s, for almost 10 years, part of my sponsorship with Lucky Strike is they gave me a new demo Suburban to drive. So I got a new Suburban from Lucky Strike, you know, as a demo to drive for a decade. that Suburban was a really good towing vehicle. I mean, it was super smooth. It was, you know, it was big, it was powerful, did a really good job towing. I don't have any, you know, downsides about towing with that Suburban, because I towed all over the country with it. I mean, it was a good, solid tow vehicle. The problem with the Suburban, it was a Suburban. It wasn't a pickup truck, so it didn't allow me to, you know, use it outside of fishing very much. It was, you know, you couldn't haul stuff with it. It was just a good traveling vehicle. Held a lot of people, held a lot of cargo. That was the tow vehicle back then. It's like you don't hardly see bass fishermen towing with Suburbans anymore. But guys, from about early 90s to the early 2000s, that's what everybody towed with. Everybody towed with a Suburban, and then there was a transition into that. So I used that Suburban up until I lost that deal. Lucky strike, they sold out, so my deal went away with the demo, so I had to buy a truck. So the next thing I bought, guys, was an H1 Hummer. This was early 2000s. It was a, you know, not the military model. I did buy a military model. I had an H1 and an H2 Hummer about the same time, early 2000s. And guys, I got to tell you right now, I love that H1 Hummer, that military Hummer. It was the military Hummer. It looked just like the Army Hummer, but it was the civilian model. That thing was freaking awesome. It was not a good tow vehicle because it had a tremendous amount of low end power, but it didn't have any top end speed. The top end speed on that thing was like 60 miles an hour, and it was big and it used a lot of gas. But you talk about something that was built for stout. It was literally like driving a dang tank. You didn't even know that boat was back there as far as the moving with it. I loved driving it. I mean, that was probably my favorite vehicle I had. In fact, there's a picture, and if you look in the thumbnail of this video, there's a picture of me and my dad standing next to that H1 Hummer I had. There's H1 Hummer. The H2 Hummer, let me rephrase that. I got the H2 Hummer, which was the you know, civilian model, about the same time. And guys, that H2 Hummer was a great tow vehicle. It was full-time four-wheel drive, which that was the negative because it used a lot of gas. But it was a heavy, solid vehicle. And even though it was a little bit shorter wheelbase, it was a solid vehicle to tow with. The only thing that I did not like about that was it used a lot of gas. That was a freaking gas hog. I mean, you know, I was getting like 10 miles a gallon with it. So I realized that's just, as much as I traveled around the country, got a thunderstorm rolling in here, that 10 miles a gallon was ridiculous. So I traded that off, and I got my next truck, which was a Chevy 2500 diesel, Duramax diesel Chevy. And I had that for about a year driving it, and guys, I had so many problems with it. I mean, it was just, even though it was a new vehicle, I had it in the shop all the time. I'm sure a lot of guys have had, you know, okay success with the Chevy Duramax diesels. This was a new one. I believe this one, it had like 20,000 miles on when I bought it. It was basically new, but I had a lot of problems with it. And one thing I noticed about it, it didn't turn corner sharp. It's like you had to have a real wide turn to turn it. So I had a lot of problems with that. So I decided to trade it off, and I got a Ford F-250 Ford diesel. This was a 6-liter. Guys, that Ford diesel, I can't remember, the Power Stroke. It was a Ford Power Stroke 6-liter diesel. That was the biggest lemon I ever bought in my life. That thing broke down constantly. I mean, constantly broke down. And I had that thing for about a year, and I had a couple mechanics tell me that motor's like the worst motor Ford ever made. And I started reading a bunch of reviews on it. People have problems with it. And I got rid of that thing. So my next vehicle was the vehicle that I'm in right now, this 2012 Dodge Ram. And guys, that Dodge Ram, I drove it for, I got it in 2013, and I drove it up until about 2020, during that time frame. No problems at all, just minor stuff. I mean, just little minor stuff here and there. I had to have, new brake pads put on and stuff. But I got to tell you, that Dodge Ram that I'm in right now, I had no problems with it at all. Good tail vehicle. It was a 1500 model. It didn't handle as good as the 3/4 tons, but very serviceable. Had no problems with it. And then in 2020, I got a sponsorship with a boat dealership here in town called Boatworks, and part of my deal with my sponsorship is they provided me with another demo truck. So I got a brand new Dodge Ram 2500 diesel truck. That truck was the best truck I ever had, guys. That diesel, that 2500 diesel Ram pickup, that thing was built for stout. It was comfortable. It towed like you can't even knew the boat was back there. Had a great turning radius. It was the best tow vehicle I ever had. I'm back now. Boatworks went out of business, so I'm back in my old truck again now. But guys, rating the vehicles, out of all the vehicles I had, all the vehicles, my favorite vehicle that I've ever had to tow with is that 2500 Ram pickup, followed by the one I'm in now is the 1500 Ram. These Ram pickups, I don't get anything from them. I bought them just like you guys do. Had that deal with the demo, but I don't have any dealership deal anymore. But I can tell you right now, those Dodge Rams, if you're looking for a good tow vehicle, if I had unlimited amount of money, I'd go down and buy a new Dodge Ram 2500 3/4 ton diesel. I mean, they're expensive. They're ridiculously expensive. So I'll probably never have one, but if I ever win the lottery, that's probably what I'll get to tow my boat with. And it got great mileage, guys. That truck, I was getting over 20 miles a gallon towing my bass boat with that truck. It was just an awesome freaking truck. So anyway, guys, let me know what y'all think about it, and we'll talk later. See you.